Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we're going to talk about the Omicron variant. It is spreading rapidly in the US and is causing a lot of issues in the US. First thing, the CDC is now recommending that Americans use a higher grade mask, the medical kind. The cloths, they're saying, they're not as effective as the medical ones, and you want to use these medical masks to protect yourself from the Omicron variant. Another story I want to mention is the Supreme Court partially blocked President Biden's COVID-19 mandate. So I say partially because the mandate is still really enforced on the healthcare workers, but for other employers, the mandate for COVID-19 vaccines for employees and for a regular test for employees who don't get vaccinated, that has been banned. Another story that I would like to mention is Dr. Fauci. He was in a congressional hearing this week with other healthcare authorities, and one of the things they mentioned in this congressional hearing was that the American people had lost faith in the healthcare authorities due to the quickly changing in information and regarding to COVID-19 protocols. That was one of the things that they mentioned. The CDC, like this past month, and maybe sometime in December, they were changing their protocols a lot, changing quarantine times and stuff. So they mentioned some of that in the congressional hearing. But the big thing that really came out of this hearing was Dr. Fauci called a senator a moron. His mic was still on, and that really blew up to be a thing that it was on the news. Another thing that I want to mention that due to the Omicron variant spreading really fast, hospitals are still overwhelmed, with short-staffed and more people being hospitalized for the Omicron variant. For our last and final story, I want to mention Novak Djokovic, a Serbian tennis player. He has been removed from the Australian Open. Reason being, he wasn't upfront about his vaccine status. So this has become a big deal because if he had competed in the Australian Open, he would have had the opportunity to set a record for the most Grand Slam wins. This would have been possibly his 21st one if he could have competed in the Australian Open, but he's not competing in the Australian Open due to him being misleading about his vaccine status. Now, the authorities in Australia said they're releasing him. Well, they're removing him from the Australian Opening and moving him out of Australia is because they don't want to encourage anti-vaxxing. And authorities and news says they're going through a serious COVID epidemic in Australia right now. So they don't want to encourage any anti-vaxxing. Other news commentators say that it's Novak's fault that he's not able to compete in the Australian Open. If he had been vaccinated or upfront about it, it probably could have been different. Most likely he would have had to get the vaccine or be tested. But it could have been different. But he wasn't. So he's been removed out of Australia. It has been causing a huge uproar, this incident. I think for the past 2 weeks, his homeland, Serbia, they have spoken out. saying that Novak's being mistreated, that they're holding him prisoner in a prison. Novak wasn't in a prison. Maybe he was in a low-grade hotel, but he wasn't in a prison. So, but Serbian authorities are quelling that sentiment down because some authorities don't want to encourage anti-vaxxing either. So that's the stories I had to share for today. If you like what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Also, I want to mention for me in my personal life that the Omicron variant, it is spreading very rapidly. I even see my own personal life how it's taking effect. I tried to go to a McDonald's a couple of days ago. I couldn't go in. I had to go through the drive-thru, and it's because of the Omicron variant. I went to a GameStop. They only allow 5 people in at a time, and it looks like we might be going into those earlier days of the pandemic where you only go through drive-thrus, where they only allow certain people in a store at a time. It's not full shutdown like it was earlier, so that's a plus side, but there is a difference that I'm seeing. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you later. Bye.